Welcome to Manor Lords setting up, getting started, basically an early tutorial. But before we get into all of that, this is Gamer1745, and if you're interested in more Manor Lords content, please remember to subscribe to this channel, and of course, if you would, I hope I'm earning you liking the videos. And hey, if you've got any questions, comments, suggestions, tips that I'm missing on this, because I have been playing this for a good number of hours now, but as of making this, I've only had it a couple of days, and this will be released when the embargo lifts. All right, and as note down here in the bottom, as you can see, this is early access 0.7.1 is what we're playing on. So things will be changing. Things are not fully set up for even the basic release coming at this time in about 2 weeks. Right, as I'm making this. Okay. Getting started, getting set up, is what we're going to do. One of the things I've learned to do is to, every region. We're not going to read all of these, but these are good to have on. But you notice it says investigate soil fertility. That's what we're going to be doing here. One, see underground water. Okay, that's where you're going to need to, when you build them, build wells. Good to know. This is important, okay? Look at your area. Now, I am playing the one, there's 3 versions released now of the game. I'm playing the one that is purely economic. I think it is important, and I tried to play one of the, I did play for a while one of the other versions. I think it's important to understand the economics of this game before you get into the military aspects of the game, and that is an important element to understand. So that's what we're looking. This is a pure economic setting. Okay, so we have emmer fertility. Basically, that's wheat. And so you don't want to build your town on, say, your most, and there's some over here, your most fertile land. Flax, you use that for making clothes. Barley is not a terribly good, well, not terribly good for barley, maybe a bit over there, for brewing beer. And rye fertility, though you have to unlock this one, is an alternative to the wheat. So this has a lot of rye in a lot of places. So keep that in mind. Oh, we can also, this is the starting map so far. Okay, I think it is the only one available so far in this early access version of the game. I'm sure there will be others eventually. You may be watching this a year or 2 later. Hopefully this will still be helping people then. All right, so this is where we're going to want to put our fields now. It starts out with a homeless people tents, a hitching post for your 1 ox, Dints is currently named. You have some supplies, some food, firewood, stone, some tools, and some storage of just timber. Okay. Now, I want to build my village over here. Now, you want to get, this will start raining fairly quickly. You want to get particularly these supplies, and particularly the food, under cover. So this is why we have, yes, and you'll see that there are a lot of really good tutorial type hints going on in this game. Roads, which are not much of a construction type deal, are just free to make. You're just sort of designating paths. But do we want to be? No, let's come a little more like that, I think. Okay. So now this will help get them through here. And what we're going to do is to get that stuff under cover. Yes, first the granary, which we'll put right there. All right. Now you have things are based on families here in this game. We have 3 unassigned families here, and unassigned families will do your construction type work for you. So keep that in mind. And so we've now designated that. And you will very quickly want to get, I'm going to play on sort of fast speed here. You can, of course, pause the game, which I love, or you can go at sort of actual speed, and then there's super fast. But right now, we'll just, because we get through this tutorial, introduction, setting up, getting started, however you want to say it. And so these people, your ox will tow one of the logs at a time. We will get into more detail on your ox or oxen as we get more of them. And so now everybody here is working on, and you need to build your granary. You need 2 timber and 10 stone. And so now he's dropped off his 1 timber that he towed over here. And some people are carrying some stones. Others have come over to sort of get basic leveling done. It's needed. And starting to actually work on. Now you start at 50% approval. It will go down. I don't know of a way with this current start to keep it from going down, but that's fine. You'll get things set up here soon enough. And by placing the road through here, otherwise they would head out to here and around and just take longer. I think they sort of meant us to start over here, but I like this. I like this better. Oh, let's keep it moving. I like this better as a starting point. The wind's blowing. We particularly want to get that food storage under cover. Get the other log over there. They'll pick up some more stones. We may lose a bit of food before the rain, or when the rain show up, because we're moving so far away. As you can tell, I have started on this. You can start in different, so if you don't like the one you start in, you can restart the game. Start in different areas, and the different areas at different times will have different locations for, the different starts will have like a different place where the stone is, or, the wild animals or whatever. So it's not always the same. Once we get that done, all the stone there. And then I'm going to put 2 people here working on this. Okay, so we're going to pause that. We're going to come here and we're going to do a storehouse. Right like this. And we have snap to fit to roads. Done. And this will take another 2. No, not. Those. So now we have 2 people are going to come over here and work on picking up the some of the bread, because that's the only thing that's going to go in the granary. One of them should have a cart. Pick up more. And we can see here, we can see the people, if you want to, that are moving these goods. Yes, we're going to do a market stall eventually.
That actually needs some sharpening.
Let's throw one more person on that. This is mostly being held up by getting the one oxen that you have. Okay, so they picked up all of the bread.
Jam along, lad.
You see up here, this is it up here. We have 3 months of food. We're consuming no fuel at the moment, which is the firewood, which is that. Right. So one of the things, especially early on here, you'll do a lot of personnel management of what the family is assigned to do.
Summer's coming soon.
Is the rest of the bread coming in there? Okay, so that gets us to 15. We did have 20, but I think they ate some. But you can see now we have... Okay, so what we can do is we can... Well, yes. And max out the store. People, they will rescue what they can of these supplies, the firewood, the tools, that kind of thing. Now, you don't want to lock yourself out on the game without building capabilities. So, which one? Yeah, over here. We want to get this. Let's see, sort of kind of in the woods here. Uproot trees for construction. Yeah, this is going to get done. There we go.
It gets rainy like this and the wife want to get out of bed. Says her head hurts. I tell her maybe you didn't scream at me all the time, wouldn't hurt. Doesn't listen to me.
Oh. So they will get their logging camp constructed. You want to make sure you do that so that you don't run out of logs. Now we can see here we have a deposit of berries. Basically, where berries growing, those are wild animals way out there. Now you can see we have 3 months of food currently. We're going to come down to here. We had a road. And we're going to come over here and get a forager's hut. You want to get some more, you want to get food in production. Not just more, but some. Okay.
Come on, laddie.
Picked up the last of the exposed
Come along, lad.
stuff, supplies. Okay, so we have a logging camp here now. We have moved most of the supplies now. I mean, forger's hut. Okay, so we're going to put a couple of people on this. Reduce that down to 1. And we're going to put 1 onto here. I'm going to reduce this down, I think, immediately. Okay, so we have some food coming in. We have a logging camp. That will keep that going. The next thing we're going to need, once we start building houses, and we will soon, will be firewood. Firewood is used by houses and some businesses and such. Okay, right there we'll create. This guy chops wood for fire, as opposed to big logs. And we're also going to take this hitching post. This is one of the ones that we can relocate for free. It's not instantaneous, but it does not cost us more supplies. Because this will tear down, then it becomes just a supply of log there. And whether they grab that one or some other log to build it out, it will be used.
Another beam coming up.
Yes, this is affecting our approval coming down. And if winter gets here, it could be a real problem. But we're still just in April, so we got time. Woodcutter's Lodge. Okay, we're not going to populate that just yet because we don't really need it. I'd rather have the people doing other chores. But getting this fully set up.
Can't find a good tree in soft ground.
But it will become a thing of need after a while.
Summer's coming soon, and soon the beating sun.
Yeah, I know the camera isn't quite
Hasn't stopped.
perfect there. Okay, so we got 2 people collecting a lot of berries. Saving, good, yes. Okay, now. I don't need to have both people, or both families, I should say, still collecting berries, partially because they're filled up. Let's put one of them over on the granary, which will now mean that they should grab that little cart and haul a few over. We can put another person over here on the logging camp.
Gave the old ox a handful of month-old grass.
So yeah, so now our ox, oh, he's taking care of it, petting it, brushing it, yes, thank you. Yeah, he's running to go get some berries. He's bored. And now we're getting 9.
With his wife to keep me warm. Gave the old ox a handful of month-old grass. He spent it on my face, tried to carve me a new nipple.
Coming to grab up. Hopefully a big bunch of berries.
This is heavier than it looks.
At least 10. Okay, good. 10 bunches of berries or something, I guess.
Come along, lad.
Well, now that we have, I guess, 11 of the, this. This here? Yes. He's showing them, so we're gonna come here. You do what you want to be sort of the front or the roadside first. And take a bit. Okay, right. I think I'm actually going to come down here. There's 5 plots of land, fairly good size, so we're going to do that. So 5 families home. And we're going, since we have enough wood, but we want some to still be being made. We're still bringing over a bunch of berries. We'll just use 2 families for building.
We all know what that means. Give me a hammer and
Come on.
So like you can just sit here and enjoy it nicely, have it as normal speed. It's really good to play, but again, since we're trying to get this video done without taking too much time, we'll keep it moving a bit quicker. I like to pause when I need to think about things. Okay, now these guys here will, the homes will need both food and fuel. So now we have 16 months of fuel because we only have 1 home. It'll go down as we build more homes. That is why we made sure we built this guy over here. Pretty soon, that should be bringing in another. Bring in 1 more big bunch of berries into. So now we have 2. Now that's down. Still 16 months. Okay. Oh, well, nobody was in it yet. Now we're down at 7 months.
Says her head hurts. I tell her maybe you didn't scream at me all the time, wouldn't hurt.
Now I want to keep harvesting these berries because they're currently growing. So as we harvest them, they'll grow more up to a 64. So you might as well keep somebody over here harvesting them. We can get a stockpile. Food does not go bad unless it's like sitting out in the weather or some such thing like that. Then it can go bad.
Don't forget to check the level of the foundation.
Let's check the level of the foundation.
Come on, laddie.
Trees are renewable. We will be building a forester's hut soon. You can see here, homelessness is our disapproval element here. But we are obviously putting people into homes. All people live in homes. Things like forager's hut or farmhouse are not houses, in that they do not house people. They're farm buildings, or I don't know what a forester's hut, other than people living in it. I don't know, just people who just go out gathering food. I don't know. Stockpile place, but yeah, whatever. We're not going to be hiring mercenary companies. Again, this scenario setting does not have any war to deal with. Okay, so they're continuing to get that. So once we get this all done, we'll get more approval. don't know where he. Oh, he's gonna go pick up a log. Okay.
Another beam coming up. Come on.
Okay, now when you, at least it seems to be, when you say reduce assigned families here, the person will finish its task it was currently doing. Like if it was carrying berries or something back, it seems to, again, I've been playing this for, a number of hours, here a few days, but number of hours of play. It seems that they will, if they're halfway done, they don't just drop the berries. They finish that off before going and doing other tasks. Okay, so we've done that. Now we're going to have a new development point. We'll get to that here in just a moment. So we're going to get somebody on the woodcutter's lodge so they can start building up firewood, which we will be out of in 3 months. Maybe we'll put 2 families on that. Now, come up to here, and we have the potential of policies eventually, but not yet. Most are locked in this capability. Okay, so now that we've gone up 1 level of development, of building our settlement here, we can unlock things here. Now they're meant to be, at least they talk about it as specialties. So if you want to, I don't know, have somebody building advanced armor making in, because over time, especially if you're playing certain scenarios that you need to like conquer all these, you can have, say here, we have a stone deposit, we have berries. Oh, maybe we don't have iron because do we haven't unlocked something, or maybe, oh no, we do have iron. Okay, yeah, here's the iron. Right, pickaxe. So rich iron deposit. So and there's clay, stone, clay, iron. But you can, like one area could be growing lots of wheat, another area could be growing lots of barley, say, and you can trade in between them. So you can specialize in types of capabilities, or like one area makes all your armor and weapons and whatnot, that type of thing. I'm mostly for this looking at these are good. This will get you honey. This will doubles capacity of your berry deposits. That's good for hunter-gatherer types. You'll want to get sheep breeding, I think, eventually, because that way you can buy some sheep and then they'll multiply out. We're going to use our first one here to get an apple orchard. So we're going to do that, or to be able to do that. Now, okay, we have 50 money. Whatever this is supposed to be, I'm not sure. Okay, not the biggest plots. We could do that now. Didn't build these maybe as big as I'd like. Yeah, they're not as big as I'd like, but they're okay, I think. Just saved it. Right. Just trying to figure here. We have 2 cutting wood, firewood, 1 cutting logs. Let's close down that operation. I want to put somebody back on the granary to try to get more of that food out of here, because it looks like we're about ready to be full up again. So we can store up more of that. And Yeah, let's do this. We're going to start and do an apple orchard. Now, it takes 3 years to fully grow the trees until, which takes around 3 years. Orchards produce only a fraction of the yield. So it's not going to produce as much now, but it's going to take 3 years. So we're going to get an orchard in the backyard of this house. Now, these can vary in size. I probably should have made this a little bit longer for the 5 houses. That way they'd be a little wider, maybe just that equal depth. And so you have certain control. That is one way you control, or the main way, shall we say, you control population, is the number of housing you have, or at least family size. He finishes his task. Now, you can see here they want water access as well as church level access, and they also want a market. We're going to put the well right here. That's why we kept one of the families unassigned, so that they can move over a log and then dig the well.
Whoa, this is heavier than it looks.
Okay, so now we have a well. Eventually they'll get, water access to all of these. Don't know how big of an area that will function for, but you may need to build others if you get a big sprawling community out here.
We all know what that means.
There doesn't seem to be an upgrade to like a windmill pumping it or anything like that. Right. Alright, so now what we also want to do here is find the markets. Where is the market?
Gave the
Over
old
here,
ox a
gathering.
handful of month-old grey. He spat it in my face and tried to carve me a new nipple.
Warehouse, pack station, granary, hitching post, pack station. There. You don't use the marketplace too much because okay, so that will be 25 stall locations. That's probably plenty big enough. So we'll have a market. There, market is just a designated area. They will come in and build their tents.
Gave the old ox a handful of month-old grey. He spat it in my face and tried to carve me a new nipple.
All right, so we have water, we have a marketplace, we got food, we've got firewood for 8 months. So we're pretty set for the moment, but this doesn't get to our goals of continuing to expand. So I'm going to give this okay, first then let me just come down here and increase the road length. I'm going to give it a little bit more space maybe than I need. I'm considering myself here. Okay, now see, we can see that this is set up for 4 plots. I'm going to go down to 3, which would allow to building a second building in here. Well, actually, you know, I'm going to not rotate this. Okay. Let's. Okay. I want to go a little deeper, I think.
Bring this here, move that there, on and on.
Now we're going to again go down to there. I want sort of big backyards here for reasons, but yes. So we're going to build this. This is going to, in essence, be fairly like luxury. Capable of housing. It's going to have productivity. Some of the productivity based around housing appears to be based on the size of the plot. Like, I don't know how big the plot affects the orchard, but it definitely affects, we'll see when we do vegetable gardens. But I don't think it affects things like goats or chickens. We can click here, we can see all of the different types of things: vegetable garden, chicken coop, goat shed, orchard, bakery extension, tailor shop, farmer's workshop, blacksmith shop, cobbler shop, bowyer shop, brewery extension that will be necessary once you have a pub, and joiner's workshop here.
This is heavier than it looks.
These guys, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to reduce that down to 1, because we're about full up here, and we're going to, yeah, allow the, let's get some wood stored up here. You know, there's only one family working on construction right now, but that'll be okay. Again, we're playing on, what is this, 4 times speed. Next year we'll do planting for farms. All of that. This year we're just getting ready. I want to get at least another 3 families here. Don't want too big, because then food and firewood become more and more of an issue. Berries, they're still harvesting out there. They're seasonal. So right now, I think, because it's no longer growing here, we're just picking the last 22 berries, or bushels of berries, or whatever. And they've got 8 there, so that's 9 there. Now, everything is house. Okay, we'll let the grand guy get with his load back in. And we're gonna let him get over here and work on building buildings. We're not really positive is above 50%. You wanted to get it to like 60 or more percent to actually get people coming to your community, but you need homes or they won't come. They won't come and be homeless. We've got enough firewood, so we're going to get you off of firewood duty for now. And these homes won't use firewood until there is somebody inhabiting them. All right, now to build a church, we also need planks. So we're going to put a saw pit there, right next to where the logging camp is, so that they don't have that far to transport logs to cut them into planks. Think of this as a little bit more refined, I guess, than these. Well, a lot of people hopefully are new here on the channel. Hello, welcome, and everything. With your interest in Manor Lords. Okay. We're going to slow this down to just normal speed. Okay, I don't think we need to continue you being there. We'll get that done. Now, one thing I do on my channel is play historically based games, mostly, and talk about the history. Now this, we do see a little bit of planks up here, and this is thatched roof, basically is straw. But what this, and then you do see a stone, it's more of the bottom of the wall. Not so much a, foundation for the walls, yes. Not so much like a, inside, level. Now what they'll do here, this is presumably, I'm guessing, mostly wattle and daub. So you've got the basic structure here, and then you'll have wattle, which this is sort of a wattle fence. Okay, so that's what they make the walls maybe a bit tighter than this, hammered down, weaved in, and then they put this up there, which is a mixture of things, including poop, mostly animal poop. Your herbivores types, as opposed to meat eater animals, mixed in with mud and whatnot, and when it's still in a mud type form, put it up there, let it dry, then paint it like with some whitewash or whatever to try to protect it a little bit more. So that's a wattle and daub. So yeah, and here there's definitely some sort of planking here because you want to get the food up off the ground so the animals have more difficulty, and then try to make it animal proof as much as possible from getting in. And so they can't like tunnel in and get in, because it would be a void space below the stone there. Okay, so this is getting near to completion here. Okay, so we're going to put somebody on this. Now what are we doing out here? Okay, so now that is empty here. We've used up for the seasonal, basically. But we want to collect woods. What we want to make now is, we can see here, they want some clothing stalls. That's another thing we need to make here. Clothing, but they also want a church level. Now we do have 3 families that are on assignment way over here in this start, and it moves around, like I say, is our wild animals. So let's do something about like that to get a road there, and then we will come here. We want it along road access here. There. We'll do that. They'll need to come bring, I think a log or something, maybe no log, just it's a hunting camp. So these people will go out and get that constructed. They're sawing. They're chopping. We're doing good here so far. Wanted to do that because that will get us meat into our food situation, and will also get us hides. Other thing here is, yes, we want a wooden church here, but we don't have enough. We started us up with enough stone. We need to make sure that obviously we do have enough logs, but we also need 20 planks of maybe better quality than what we're sort of using there for the church. Okay, so now we're basically, in my opinion, this is what sort of neutral popularity looks like. We got some market food variety. Now you can click on the market here. You can hover over here, and you can see we currently at the market have 3 bushels of berries and 3 big loaves of bread, basically, and firewood. You can see which houses have firewood. It's right now at 75%. For some reason that house doesn't. Don't know why. And you can see the varieties of food here. Getting this built out here. Oh, let's go make it a bit faster again. Get this built out here. We will get meat coming in. Yeah, these guys aren't getting enough. Fire fuel from the stalls, I don't know. Yeah, those are the food, and you can see over here specifically our firewood. There's another person here who get the stuff going maybe a bit better. Okay, now we have the hunting camp, so I'm going to put one family set up to be hunters. We have only 20 wild animals right now. Let's see, what is it set at? Yeah, max hunting limit is 10. So that way they'll keep breeding more as we go. So that's meat on this map is fairly low. Sometimes they'll be like 40 or more. So you can put it at 20. You can really feed a fair amount of your food from it. With this setting here, it seems to be more of a adding variety more than a staple food, which we'll have to worry about. And we spent all of our gold on setting up an orchard there, which I'm not unhappy with the idea there, but it does take your gold out. Now I haven't really been playing with this much yet over here, but we're looking at this gold, which is regional wealth. And there will be several ways to increase that. And we're coming up towards it. Okay, we're into September. These guys, what's our current? Okay, fuel. Plenty of fuel, so I'm not going to add more people there. We're just making sure that if we put somebody in the granary, they'll go and collect that as needed here. But we've got plenty, and it can just sit there where it currently is. Okay, so storage warehouse. Okay, so stop. Now that will get us this, and we should be able to come here. And I think, yeah, we'll make the meat entrance that way. And did we ever get firewood stuff? Okay. We're going to reduce this down so that we now have 3 families on building. Because we've got to move 5 logs 20 planks and 10 stone, as well as doing a lot of hammering and digging and chopping and sawing and whatever to build our church. We want to get the church built. A fundamental part of the community. So, I guess you somewhat, if you're interested in this game, like the medieval period. And this is set in the 15th century, I think they said, so around the 1400s. Just at the end, this would be, from my understanding, the Renaissance really starts around 1550. 15th century means the 1400s. So this is high Middle Ages. We're long out of the Dark Ages. We're about ready to get into the Renaissance. Now, why is there all this open land here, other than the game basic of starting with nothing? Could have been something like recovering from the plague and coming into an area. I don't know specifically, other than just the game of, starting with a few people in 10, as opposed to the idea of maybe starting with something, sort of like this, a small community, and you're assigned to come in to improve things and build up from there. Now, one element, obviously, with this is we get to design it ourselves, as opposed to starting with something that somebody else designed. Okay, let's pause this here. Now, we now have a church. You can assign somebody here, but I understand he's sort of like a grave digger. So we don't need to get church benefits to have somebody, a family assigned here. So we can just leave that here. And now we can see here that we have, let's ring the bell. And now we have church level access. We still don't have clothing, but that will come in the next episode. Again, I want to thank everyone who's made it this far. This game seems excellent. I hope you are all enjoying this. Like I say, remember to like, subscribe to the video if you want to see continuations of this sort of getting started tutorial series. And post questions, comments, tips, suggestions. If I'm getting anything wrong, I'm sure there's something I am. Post them below so that I can learn and everyone else can learn. And so you guys check out the comments to see how things are. See you next time for more historical gaming.